In this industry, I'm almost there for the last 20 years. I've seen various of eras of technologies started with mainframe a long ago, then slowly into Hadoop, then big data, then cloud. Now the solution like we are into right now, AI, Agentic AI solutions. So everything I've seen the decades of 2 decades of experience, what I've observed, like how the data has been transformed from the legacy to the modern data house. People even thinking like, how the Instagram reels are going on. They want to see the report like this. This has been the transformations. The 15 days became one.
There was a typical business problem for a very retail part of India where fish production was happening, which was a very booming business for them that started declining. And it was a typical problem. They were telling, the fishes are dying. They told, okay, what we can do, we can solve this problem via AI. Still, the results was not showing. So the analysis happened further over there. To understand, right? People talk about AI solving problem around AI, but the problem is solved by the data you are giving to that particular
driver. Let not correct. AI will be a driver for you.
Yes.
Let you are the driver. You drive AI in your way to get the maximum. The persons are doing a like, share, comments, required data. You go to Facebook, you have data. You are going for a business transformation, you need data. There was a time when business or always need the data what they need right now for their solving a business use case. Now the era has been changed. They need every data, every angle they want to analyze, to think, innovate, and go further. So data is mandatory for everyone. So the data skills will never die, for sure.
Hi everyone, welcome to Datapedia show. We are yet here again with another episode for our data champions and for our data friends. Today we have a very special guest with us. I personally know him from very long work together in quite an engagement. Best part about him is a very business oriented leader coming from a consulting background. Wanted to introduce you to Mr. Bhagban. In industry, he is around for 20 years, have seen lot of data modernization assessment in his life. A lot of things which we have learned personally. I would like to welcome him, sir. And then we'll take this podcast further or his views further. We'll speak very candidly, very openly about how the world, specifically in this AI era, is going around. So, Mr. Bhagwan, welcome to the show, and thank you for acknowledging us and coming and agreeing that you will be able to share some very insightful details with us. Before we start and we delve deep in this particular part, it will be good if you can introduce yourself to the audience and they get to know more about it. I say the word Bhagwan, so people will already have a perception around it. So, yeah.
Thank you, Subesh. So, hi, my name is Bhagban. In this industry, I'm almost there for the last 20 years. If you see, I have seen various of eras of technologies started with mainframe a long ago, then slowly into Hadoop, then big data, then cloud. Now the solution like we are into right now, AI, Agentic AI solutions. So everything I've seen the 2 decades of experience, what I've observed, like how the data has been transformed from the legacy to the modern data house right now, our modern data platform, we say. So again, modern data platform and data modernization are 2 different things, but it is coming under the same umbrella of modernizations. So yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Awesome. You very profoundly said that you have spent around a couple of decades in this industry. Now, when we talk about decade, before transformation or any kind of transformation which used to come, specifically in technology, usually used to stand at least a decade, right? But in current era, now what I am seeing that the transformations are changing so rapidly. The landscape of technology is changing so fast. So what do you feel that where are we heading it? Are we going to see it like it is going to change from a year to a month now, that in a month some technology comes up and it changes?
That's a really good question. Let me start a story. Let's talk about 20 years back when we all are a developer. We used to see a data warehousing concepts of it. That means your source would have 500 GBs of data, but the business only need 1 GB of data to process it because at the end of the day they want to build the report for their consumptions. Now, so that era has been changed when the Hadoop has introduced again as a big data technologies. So they said, okay, we don't need to do again 1 GB. Now let's analyze every data altogether, the 500 GB of data into one place and analyze it. But if you see that time, the report generation was still taking, let's say, 2 days or 3 days. I'm talking about a very legacy one. It became for 1 day. Then cloud has come to the picture. It has even reduced to some further, probably 4 hours, 3 hours. Now nobody has a patience to wait for 4 hours to have a report. I want to have in a click of my button. People even thinking like, how the Instagram reels are going on. They want to see the report like this. So how this has been the transformations. As you rightly say that, earlier there was a time we used to read for warehousing, modernization, everything, so on and so forth, many a technology. Now, the technology is going so fast, it's very challenging to adopt everything. It's very, very fast. You go to, if I talk about hyperscalers right now, let's say AWS, Azure, or GCP, they are changing the technology very fast.
Very fast.
And the versionings are having in 3 months. Every 3 months there is new versions. Similarly, now the era of agentic AI, we are here right now, right? So if you remember 2023, I still believe that there was a chat, OpenAI have generated the GPT-3 that time it was there. So we are very happy. Okay, yeah, this is doing this like this. Now, even it became a multi-model right now, and there are a lot of LLMs as right now to solve the problems. So technology again, if I say in this way, the business problems are still same. We have evolved the technology high in a better way right now. So choosing technology is easier, but at the same time you will get confused because of cost, efficiency, and reliability. Beyond that, I always believe that technology is only a catalyst to solve the problem.
Yeah.
But the whole story is that the business.
At last, who consumes it matters the most, and that is one of the major factor which I am seeing. Right, I have spent around a decade doing a lot of data stuff. So, priority, specifically on these businesses or enterprise, when we used to talk, right, data was never priority for them. Right, it was always kind of
Exactly,
back
yes.
office or some team in back end which will do this. Even the role of CDOs or data officers or data leaders have evolved with years, right? Maybe
Yes.
20 years back, you might be still speaking to CIO who would be
Yes.
taking these data concepts, or they might be not that serious about all those things. Now, how it is changing over time is with evolution of AI, right, which has come, the business is actually using the AI, right? And
Yes.
because of that, the priority is again coming back to AI, or the budgeting has been coming back to AI, and data still remains the foundation of it. So, in your experience specifically now, when you used to, let's say, talk around the big data era, right? Big data era, data was still an important factor. And now, when the priorities are shifting to this AI agents, or everyone is thinking that we have to come and start somewhere, otherwise, you will be behind on your competition. Do you think the talk is going and people are talking around data and thinking that your AI is as good as once you have your data right? Are those conversations happening? Have enterprises matured in that way, or it is still the buzzwords which are being carried around the boardrooms?
Okay. To answer your question, let me go one level back. When AI has been introduced, it was a buzzword. Everybody talk about its buzzword. But now it is actually coming in a reality right now. But to get the AI to consume the data for AI or agentic AI, you should have a data foundation. So without having a data foundation, you cannot do much on that. So the data engineering is again a key pillar. I always say that, so that it will feed the data into multiple applications or agentic applications, and then do so. I'll give you an example of in that how AI has been evolved in the same time. You take any industry. I'll give you a very typical example. Initially, there are three teams normally happens. So one is a source system you have, another is an engineering team, another would be your data who will consume the data, data preparation team, and then the business users are there who consume the data. Let's say I want to take some data to do a dynamic pricing. Just giving example of dynamic pricing, you can say, or something else. Now, the same business user will create a request to the engineering team. I need XYZ data from this source, and the data preparation team who will prepare the data and create the dashboard, they will again do that and then send to the business users and they will consume it. So the entire process, if you see, it will at least take 2 weeks time. It's always take 2 weeks time because everybody wants to see the data and they want to validate, do data quality.
So the entire delivery
process was 2 weeks. Now, what has been there right now, if we can have an agentic application, how the industry is going towards that. I don't need that steps altogether. I will have agents who can actually take my data from the source, and there is an agent orchestration, we say that. They will do their data quality, the transformation based on that, based on prompts again. And they will do a self-service PI for you, which will take a day. So just imagine, the 15 days become 1 day.
I was seeing a BI tool, one of the formidable upcoming data tool, Databricks. They have launched a BI which they call as Genie. So you know Aladdin has a genie where you used to request something and automatically it used to come it, right? So very creative name also and you see the perspective how they are making or ensuring in the business mind, right? That how the perspective needs to be changed. So from a reporting which used to take you rightly said, which used to take months to prepare because you have to do the cleansing, prep. Business user used to come, validate, then you have to build a UI over it, then data needs to be fed to it, then a report used to come, then business user used to request, I need a graph one or this one and all. Now all those things is changing into a natural language process kind of thing. You tell something and it should start giving you a report kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Now, so that's how this current era is changing currently.
Yes.
Now, you have been part of a lot of modernization, specifically in a space where modernization efforts have been taken up.
Yes.
Now, let's say if you are meeting any client or in your consulting experience currently, when someone is still talking to you, first of all, I don't know if modernization is still relevant because there are applications which are now coming up, which actually is, I will not say modernize, it is like replacing some applications. So when this modernization you are talking to client, how are they presuming it? They are thinking just as perspective of upgrading certain tools, technologies, or are they thinking in such a way that they need to now set up something very foundational as part of their modernization expertise, or it is just about upgrading of the tools, upgrading of the systems, bringing systems from on-prem to cloud? And now with the current environment, even cloud is not a very safe bet. People are, I don't know where the world will go in a typical situation, but just focusing on the modernization part, right? What do you think is a basic perception in the boardroom? Or why do you think a current enterprise is giving budget for modernization, and what is the outcome they are looking for aspect of modernization?
So data modernization, if I can say, it's a big umbrella.
Yeah.
So within the umbrella, there are multiple things are there. As you rightly said that, upgrading a tool also part of modernization. Migration from legacy to cloud could be again modernization. Bringing AI on top of that, again modernization. So and I say it's a big umbrella. Everything part of that, it's basically creating a holistic view of modernization. Now, when we talk about data modernization, sometime back and now how it is. It was something like when I do data modernization, let's talk a very simple example. I want to do mainframes. Let's think about a mainframe application. I want to modernize into cloud. So how we should do it? We should take the data. let's talk about any Azure or GCP or AWS stack. Let's talk about Databricks. Otherwise, we will get the data, ingest, integrate, integrate, ingest, transform, correlation, then BI. That is how it is. And the tool stack, so you will reduce what? You reduce the MIPS cost, which is very costly right now. You reduce the processing time. Again, the overall cost ownership reduce drastically. You should not have a data center to support the entire legacy of it.
So you are telling modernization is mapped to cost reduction in a certain way?
It's in certain way, yes.
Okay.
In certain way, yes. It always reduce cost. I will not say it always reduce cost, but it definitely reduce your manual efforts. It always reduce your overburdens altogether.
Okay.
That is how we should treat it. So if you only think about cost, which industry also think about cost, it is certain extent, yes, there is a possibility. Now I am bringing AI. It definitely reduce your work, which you are doing for, let's say, 1 day work. It can do in minutes or in few minutes. So your entirely the cost reduction is happening anyways, right? Your manual task, what you used to do it anyways you reduced it. The effort reduction you have to talk about that right now. So definitely cost will be a part of that. Now, so the same example, let's take it. Mainframe to Azure. Now, we have the era right now. It is not data modernization. I would say it's a agentic AI data modernization.
Okay. Okay.
If I can say in other way around. So everything has been orchestrated, automated within AI. Your engineer will be still there, but they will be having superpower of this agents now. As you rightly said, Genie, AI assistants in Databricks, they can leverage that. So the work they will do, write a code, think about that, compile it, see errors. Or let's say take example of mainframe COBOL codes into Databricks codes. People takes ages to convert it.
Sometimes those are so manual effort that people almost start rewriting things.
Absolutely.
Greenfield.
Absolutely.
Right. That's one of the bottleneck of modernization which we are seeing, because I'll tell in my experience, right? I have been part of Informatica, and Informatica, as you might know, has been pioneer in ETL space, right?
Absolutely.
Every second organization currently runs the Power Center version of it, right? That itself is a huge modernization effect when you want to bring that particular part into the cloud part of it, right? That itself is a huge modernization. And there is so much of legacy code around it, right? So much of pipelines, such things running in their production system. People do not even want to take that risk of going there and bringing it. A lot of organization do not have people even who knows that what is there in their production now, right? Because it has gone into that level. So we in fact rather suggest in such condition that you start rewriting all those things instead of going and modernizing that into a version. Let it run, but you start having a parallel, almost a production parallel kind of thing where you start incubating things and you do a modernization. So we have come into that kind of era. So how do you feel also? So if you break down into segments, there are almost companies which are running from 100 years, right? Where modernization becomes very, very typical kind of job, rather than some new age organization or a startup which has already acquired a pretty new tool which helps you out. So what factor do you see specifically in an old age organization and new age organization, and where in your consulting experience is an easy sell or is an easy way for modernization effect or modernization talks to do?
Everything has its own way of doing it. Now it depends on how do you sell it. If I need to go to a old, as you said, the old legacy system they are carrying it, definitely I'll pitch for a modernization. How I can create your legacy and putting into a cloud or something else.
And you will not talk AI to them also.
I'll talk slowly because they will not be able to consume everything. Because
Yeah.
again, everything will come with a cost. Let's have a staged process. At the same time, but we will definitely go to that level, the target architecture, you can say that. But we'll go slow. We have to show a roadmap, a technology roadmap, where you are right now and how you will be down the line. So that is how your end-to-end roadmap you need to create. As a consulting person, you should at least from here to here you have to reach as a technology landscape. Now, the same story, if I need to pitch a not startup, it's a mid company where they already have cloud. There we can pitch. See, you are in cloud, we know you are already there, but we can bring AI, even we can automate your jobs. So it is all about how do you sell it.
So a step by step
It has to be step by step.
Right.
You know, we cannot show it is not a right way to showcase, like, you are here, I can show you can see the moon. No, not possible. Rather than go step by step. You can definitely reach to the moon, but this is the steps we need to follow to reach it.
Right. Very, 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 very insightful in that particular sense. Also, if we are talking about all these modernization, right? A true audience or a true leaders who have been speaking to you or where you have been pitching has been some of the data leaders or the CDO kind of organization. How do you feel these top leaders and specifically their roles are defined or KRAs has been defined, or how prospectively they are being incentivized on these efforts, right? I if a modernization is being pitched, so there might be a certain KRA which these guys will expect from you. Is it just about the cost, or is it something else also they are looking for you as a consulting firm to give to them as a report that yes, this was my ROI, right? I have invested so much dollar value. What ROI are get? Or are they just happy with knowing that they have come from a mainframe to a high end tool, now agent works on my system, those kind of effort?
Okay, it is cost, definitely yes, because a CIO or CEO always look for the cost, because down the line he has to prove his point. But in the same time, they also understand the ease of work, how it will be so easy for me to orchestrate, how I can train my folks on that. If the ease of work is not coming, then it is, and definitely he'll always think about reliability again. How it is reliable.
Correct.
So that, take example of it. I want, my data volume is growing every year, let's say 20%. So whatever you are proposing right now, what you are doing modernization with the X number of cost, will that survive for next 5 years? The cost, reliability, ease of things actually matters here.
Okay. So a combined, you have a framework which you generally position to.
Yes, that's a ROI. You can see that. So those are the factors we should always think in that way always.
So, my next question to you is with this evolving era, right, where we have come from, let's say, on-premise system to these cloud systems, right? But the evolving world, how it is being taken up in a present geopolitical scenarios, right? We are seeing a lot of potential threats even on these cloud pods, which is happening. So specifically on organization or enterprise who is taking this modernization effort, how do you feel that, are we going back to a system where they are again re-evaluating that should we be dependable on a certain cloud ecosystem or one cloud ecosystem bringing all their data to one fixed cloud ecosystem, or it should be preserved or being kept on premise only, or a hybrid ecosystem is currently evolved around them? What kind of concepts or what kind of framework now is in mindset?
See, it depends. It depends why. Many geographical places also, they are still relying on their data centers. They don't want to expose their data to outside. Again, this is again their decisions. You cannot say that you go to cloud. If you say also, they may not go to cloud sometime. But as you said, is cloud is the option? Yes, cloud is the option. Why? The disaster recovery is always there. What if something has happened? It has to be replicated somewhere else. Industry is going with a multi-cloud also, hybrid architecture also. Some folks, they have their hybrid, probably on-premise also, they want to keep it, and also they want to keep it cloud. So again, these are patterns, they follow it. So I would not say it is very specific that we should always go and say that go to cloud. But definitely we can show a roadmap. But sometime the perception we cannot change it. But slowly I mean, what I can see the industry is going towards that, everything will be in cloud.
Okay.
But the cybersecurity always a key. Again, when we are going, the vulnerability will also going to increase. And for that, we have to be very alert on that.
So, what you very rightly said, cybersecurity is going to be one of the factor. But before coming to the cybersecurity topic, let's tickle back a little and say, how do you think the data maturity as a factor remains as a key factor in these organization where you would have gone for suggestions? Are they critically thinking of data maturity as one of their pillars? Or specifically, if let's say if I am talking about maturity, what sense they are talking? Are they thinking of keeping data in a federated way of thing or a centralized kind of ecosystem? What is a right approach in this particular era?
That's a very good question. See, there are multiple ways to think towards how I should take my data into one place. So there are something like we call this a unified data lake. We call this, right? So unified data lake, like your centralized place, and it's a very monolithic architecture. So you are a small mid-sized organization, and you want to centralize every data, and you want to carve out the data to the business as a data as a service. So they always do a data as a service. So they have one place, and the business users will consume the data as a service. Now the bigger organizations, the massive organizations, because they do not have one organization, they have in multiple geography. There are different business units out there.
Correct.
And sometimes they will have a lot of challenge on data interoperability. Sometimes they cannot able to democratize their data.
Yeah, even the compliance plays a lot of
Compliance
factors.
also there.
Geography.
Absolutely,
The difference.
you are right. In that time, they onboard some kind of architecture called a data mesh. That's a domain-oriented architecture. So how it works? You in domain-oriented architecture, it is not like you are actually creating; you are actually decentralizing the data, and you are bringing products. So there, the concept of data products are started. So initially we I mean 3 years back probably, or maybe 5 years back, we are about data as a service. We'll create a unified lake, single source of truth, then data will be bifurcated to different business users. Now it's a monetization also. Data as a product. I want to have the business. I want to have a demand sensing. Let's take an example of it. So that product has to come from different geographical aspects of it. So that concept has been changed now. So we are thinking about not building a data service. We are building a data as a product. So that maturity we are reaching in that.
Correct. Even I was talking to one of my very known industry friend who was running this particular data management platform in this, and I was telling him. He was in fact telling me that the organization has invested so much on this particular platform, or they have created a specific business unit of data office and all those things. And we were into this deep topic that how do I show my ROI, or how do I show my value to them. So I told him that how do you pitch, or how do you in the boardroom say that your office or you have created this particular data product or data marketplace and all is well. So he's telling the consumption part of it, right? Once I have done the entire part of cleansing, quality, lineage, governance and everything, I have centralized, created a single source of truth, brought MDM into the picture. And now my data is ready for consumption. And now when the consumption happens, right, all the business unit which now used to interpolate or used to dig in their own data are now asking me for that data. Right, so there are a lot of business systems which are now coming to me and asking me that can I have this particular data which I given to you in a better clean format so that I can run a marketing campaign kind of thing. So that becomes a success criteria for him, and he is able to actually tell a right ROI in front of things. So these kind of concepts are also being taken up in modernization, or these are just a separate concept or implementation concepts which
that is also part of modernization.
Okay.
That is what I was talking about, data democratization. Earlier, I mean, when we have a unified lake, data will come from different sources and they stored in one of the semantic layer or a curated layer, or we call it as a gold. If you talk about a middle layer architecture, we call it as a bronze, silver, and gold. So it normally stored in gold. But there, just imagine one business user wants to take personalizations as a product. Okay? So how he can do that? He doesn't know which data I need to take, how I should take it. So there the data governance piece has come. So now there are various tools are there to do it. I mean, you could Azure Purview is there. I mean, Informatica, MDM itself is one of the tools, again, as you are part of Informatica. So you have to govern the data well.
Yeah.
You have to create the policies well. You have to create the business glossaries.
Correct.
The lineage of that. So they will understand the data about data. Then they will only tell you what data I need from this to build my report. Or I will take the data and create again one AI model to have the output of it, which monetize me. So data democratization also part of right now in a modernization journey.
A very, very sarcastic question though. We are now feeding so much data to AI. In a certain scenario now, I have seen AI now generating so much data. So where are we going now? Who will feed data to whom? How do we see this world changing in next, which is very, very unimaginable now to think the amount of data it is generating out of such ecosystem. So in your sense, do you think the semantic layer which is as a concept coming up will play a major factor now, or is it just unified data lake kind of scenario will play a major factor?
Okay. So semantic layers it's a BI technique, right? Probably I can correlate all the KPIs to have my data. Right?
Yes.
That is how it is. That is a part. That's the end product of it.
But if your AI needs to now be a very formidable, because your end user now is going to consume AI, and you as a data leader becomes very, very important part. So how do we envision this particular architecture when AI is coming into the picture specifically?
Okay. As I said, AI can everywhere now. It was initially only one layer as a AI ML. It's a traditional ML again, where we are using a random forest, or regression. I mean, that kind of used to do. I mean, that time we should have a feature engineering process. It will take a lot of time. Then model train and test, then monitor, deploy. There are many things are there. Now it is very fast. It is actually fast, to be honest. Now your AI can consume from the bronze, which is a medallion architecture, if required, or silver or gold, and that output he put into semantic layer just to have the reporting. So now AI can play a vital role because it can be in any layer, as I said. You can build agents for anything, for a source data ingestions, for conversions, or for consumption, self-service BIs also. I think everything you can do that right now. But at the same time, we have to leverage rightly and wisely when we are using AI. Because when you are actually using AI, it also hit the number of tokens, as you know, and that can bump the cost.
Yeah, that maxing is a huge business problem which someone needs to come and solve actually. So
you have to that's what I said. Wisely we have to use, and we have to thought process has to be very clear when we are using AI.
We have seen this news very recently where big firms like Microsoft even have internally asked not to use so much of AI because of token maxing. So such kind of thing are you seeing in your day-to-day activity?
See, that is one of the thing normally happens, right? Whenever we are any project, you take about any project in industry as doing right now. So they will not able to understand how much it will be. It is not a very fixed cost. Right? It will be based on the consumptions. So token maximus happens, and then people learn and again do that wisely. So that is a process altogether. Nobody can tell within this token everything will be done. It's quite hard. It's a process. We have to go for a process itself. So it is there. It is Microsoft is saying the same thing. It is still there.
Now, in our era, maybe a decade before, right? let's say if we are not coding by not using some of these AI agents now, we used to have data engineers. Now they are very very relevant. I still say a lot of my young guys who are working with us that you are very very relevant.
Absolutely.
I don't still feel that the era has come in where you are irrelevant, though you require some of the orientation towards the business side of it, because you now just do not need to be very very technical. You need to also understand what business wants from you, and that's how you are seeing that uh, 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 we started renaming and telling our developers as consultant, because we wanted them to understand that solving a technical problem is just not this is not the era for just solving, because the knowledge is democratized now.
Yes.
Every third person in this world can come and code, which you can absolutely do. So it is, what it will add to your skill is this business knowledge or the business process which they are following. So your job as a data engineer is very very relevant. But coming back to my point, which I was trying to stress, is uh, uh, a decade back, right? When we used to be part of such programs, so it was not token maxing; it was human maxing, right?
Yes.
We have worked 9 to 5, and let's say we have still work left, but token can max out, the cost can be, but as a human, and a human is dealing with you, they can always make you work more, right? So you spend your oil, you spend your gas working whole night, ensuring now that the work is done, right? Your efficiency was never a factor, or your productivity was never measured in that way. Now what you are measuring, the agent or tokens now. So, and now when these agents and token have started utilizing, a tick box is clicking always there. You always see your cost. Okay, this is done, this is done. And now what to do? This has done half job and my cost has already bumped up. So it's an era where everyone is now thinking. So I still do not feel that the role of data engineer is still that irrelevant. But you have been speaking to a lot of businesses, you've been seeing the world firsthand. What do you feel currently?
No, it is not really irrelevant. See, the data engineers, they have to, I mean, only thing is to adopt the new things. We are not, I mean, it is still required and it is going to require down the line. That is for, I'm pretty sure. The only thing is that you are having one more supporting hand as a AI or different tool stack where you can do your job effectively and efficiently. So that is how it is all together. So the data engineer, it is still there, but at the same time, I would recommend all my colleagues, the friends, whomever I met, and the people who are watching right now, start your journey on AI, and this is the time to start right now.
Okay.
This is the only one sentence I can make out. Like, everybody has to learn. I can give you. I'm digressing the topic right now. I'll give you one example of it. Now AI it's so everywhere right now. Just to tell you one thing, just to make your you want to flow your money. What you can do, you want to sell something, you don't need to do coding altogether. It's all about a prompt or a context engineering. You go to ChatGPT, create a story of your own, which is ChatGPT can help you to create it. Okay. Have the JSONs, create the images for that. Google has launched VOE, right?
Correct.
So it has entirely, you can create a film altogether. The ads, what you can do that. It has a end-to-end workflows also.
Workflows, yeah.
It create videos, create workflows, generate it. You want to go with a fashion designing or a jewelry or something else, you have it, publish it. I mean, that itself you can earn money again. Again, everything has been done by AI. You don't need to know coding. It's a low code, no code. I mean, nothing to do. You should have a thought process, how I can sell it, and you know how to write a prompt. As simple as it is. That's again AI.
Right. So, in your context, if I understand it right, decision making is a major skill now, right?
Yes.
So, I was seeing some podcast and people was telling that MBA roles are not that relevant now because of AI coming into picture. And very contrary, they have their own thought understanding. What I was thinking was, in this world of era where a lot of things are being automated, right? You as a person now is liable for what is happening, because if something wrong happens and it is under your presumptions, you are now liable to it. So it is very focused way. Even if AI adoption is happening, people are always talking about human in the loop concept, right? There is a human.
Yes.
And for that particular human to act, the decision making process or thinking process remains a major factor. I understand that AI is taking decision, but do you think that human possibility of making it work remains a very very special component now, and that is one skills which will add value to your skills, whatever you may be, an engineer or an MBA, but how do you help an AI to take a certain action, or what direction it needs to be taken so that it acts in a very right way, is going to be one of the skills.
Exactly. That is what you should be a driver. Let not
correct.
AI will be a driver for you.
Yes.
Let you are the driver. You drive AI in your way to get the maximum output. So you have to be creative. You have to think. You should have a thought process where I want to do. Let's say I want to do a ad shooting also. I'm just giving away. I'm not talking about technology right now. I want to do an ad shooting also. If you have a creative mind, how the ad has to be, how the angle has to be, how the people should talk, what are the punchlines has to be. Then you drive the AI to do that for you, and it can do for you altogether. So that is how. So the creativity lies within the humans always, and always I say human always in the loop.
Correct. So one thing, Bhagwan, from you as an industry leader and has spent a couple of decades in the industry, I wanted our audience or our listener to understand the importance of data in this AI era. I'd like to hear from you, specifically with your experience. You have seen technology transformation from very from quite a time now. How do you think data will be an important factor, not only today, but for the world of tomorrows also? So your experience around it and your suggestions around it.
Yeah. So data never dies. Data only can going to increase. It never will decrease. I'll give a very simple example of it. Let's say Instagram pictures. The persons are doing a like, share, comments, required data. You go to Facebook, you have data. You are going for a business transformation, you need data. There was a time when, as I was very earlier I was speaking about, business or always need the data what they need right now for their solving a business use case. Now the era has been changed. They need every data, every angle they want to analyze, to think, innovate, and go further. So data is mandatory for everyone. So the data skills will never die, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, a very true example which I have recently faced. There was a transformation happening, right? There was a typical business problem for a very retail part of India where fish production was happening, and which was a very booming business for them, that started declining. And it was a typical problem. They were telling, yeah, the fishes are dying. I am trying to produce these many things, and the quantity used to be so much, but it is not happening now. So what can be a newer way or new innovative idea? And this was happening in India, right? A startup came in. They told, okay, what we can do, we can solve this problem via AI. So, okay, how you will solve this problem via AI? So he was telling, what we will do is we'll find the root cause. We'll take pictures, we'll feed it to AI, and we will see it in some time. It will start taking decisions that in what condition it is flourishing and what condition it is not flourishing, right? What is the major problem it will come. So they started just putting capturing all or feeding AI with all the pictures, data, every angles and all those things for making decisions, but still the results was not showing. So the analysis happened further over there, and they were telling that that is one data point which you are giving to that, right? There can be other data point also which is impacting the decisions. Maybe the temperature, the water conditions, right? What temperature the water is maintaining or what level it is maintaining, you are not able to maybe analyze that. So for AI also to work, there is a lot of data feeding which needs to be done,
Yes.
right? And that becomes so critical to understand, right? People talk about AI solving problem around AI, but the problem is solved by the data you are giving to that particular AI or model. So in that perspective, I was amazed to say that okay, AI is there currently. Agentic is coming. Let's say tomorrow some new transformation comes, but the foundation is going to be your
Data.
data, right?
Exactly.
So that is one, and I always kept telling, and that's where you are also emphasizing, and I am very happy to hear that the foundation is still remains very very basic. So for any organization, for any enterprise which are doing certain level of transformation, I still feel you tell yourself as digital transformation, AI transformation, but please look into your data assets, your data maturity, your data products, what kind of platforms you are picking, and that remains a very critical part. So your closing statement.
My closing statement would be one, though data, I always say that the data engineers, all the data engineers right now, data skill will be remain there, but in the same time, we have to adopt new technologies. We need to hold new shots to fight back that we are still there, and it is only the AI is giving you power more. That's all. So the moment the data engineers will adopt the AI capabilities, they can run the show with their own.
Awesome. So that was Bhagwan for you. Very, very insightful thought around it. Please hook back. We will come with a newer episode very, very soon. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.